Well, we've travelled to Edinburgh to find out and to get a taste of what it's like to be at the centre of such a spectacular event.
From the start of August and running right through to the end of the month, the festival is actually made up of 6 different events. The books, the films, the jazz and blues, the international, the arts, and of course, the eponymous Fringe.
And whatever the weather, it all kicks off here with a huge parade of performers making their way down Edinburgh's famous Princes Street.
The popularity of the cavalcade is clear to see. Thousands turn up to celebrate the start of a month of performances.
If you want to promote your show, the Royal Mile is the place to do it. This is where people come from all over the world to persuade those passing that their show is the one to see. And if you come to the festival for pure entertainment, the Fringe is the place to head.
10 years ago, the Fringe was a different beast. The poor man to the main festival's established highbrow. But it's grown. The Fringe now sells 97% more tickets than it did a decade ago and sees all sorts of buildings turned into so-called places for art. The result is a city dedicated for 1 month to every manner of performance. This year, 31,000 performances to be precise.
Curiously, I don't think Edinburgh is as corporate as other parts of our lives. I think our whole lives have become terribly corporatised. And I think Edinburgh has retained its charm. I think that the Edinburgh Festival was started for the best of reasons. It was started to give sense of purpose for people's lives, to give a sense of an expression to people's humanity after the terrible experience of the Second World War. We started for a very good reason. We didn't start as a response to a kind of cold, calculated economic analysis of what the cultural sector can do for the city.
When it comes to being a tourist at the festival, you can spend as much or as little as you please on a performance anyway. The Fringe has good budget-friendly options. If you've got deeper pockets, you can spend in excess of $100 on one opera performance alone. And the International Festival doesn't just rely on ticket sales. It gets funding from government grants, donations and sponsorship. You can see that during the festival, the city heaves with visitors, which leaves hoteliers rubbing their hands together with glee. For those heading to a 4- or 5-star hotel, you'll find prices jump from 60% to well over 100% during July and August.
Occupancy during the month of August, which is the prime time for the festivals in Edinburgh, hits about an average of 90%. But in saying that, there are many days throughout the month where we hit 99%, 98, 99%. Sundays is a fairly sort of slower day because not all the shows are running and the tattoo doesn't run on that day. And prices reflect that as well. We find that hotels charge their normal rack rate, which is their published rates. I think quite often hotels are criticised for sort of inflating prices, whereas in fact they don't. And you go to any brochure, any travel agent, and you pick the peak time to travel, that's when prices are at their most.